Michi of Igama College's Foundation Incorporated, your reading and writing teacher. So for today, we will be going to discuss the explicitly or implicitly made in a written text.
To properly evaluate the ideas you have gathered while reading, you must be able to know the different kinds of information, which are explicit information and implicit information. But before we discuss that topic, let me define first what is claims. Claims is defined as a statement that is not considered or accepted by all. A claim may be unverified or controversial to a certain degree. It is usually related to one side of an issue. There are two kinds of information. These are the explicit information and the implicit information. Explicit information is defined as the information stated in the text. Readers can see the piece of information stated in the given passage. While the implicit information, these are the information that are not directly presented in the text, meaning we need to read between the lines to understand the details that the writer is trying to tell us. Let's take a look for this example. Imagine that Chris is going to Robinson with his friends. Before he leaves home, his mother tells him dinner will be served at 8, meaning that she wants him to be home by then. She doesn't say, I want you to be home by 8, directly, but she implies this information. Therefore, what she's saying can be described as implicit. In contrast, if she were to tell Chris, be home by 8, this would be explicit. In this case, she'd say exactly what she'd want her son to understand. Critical reading enables you to distinguish the explicit and implicit information provided by the author. Explicit information is information that is clearly stated in the text, while implicit, on the other hand, are ideas suggested in the text but not directly stated. This is where the ability to make inferences based on clues within the text is applied. Through proper identification of explicit and implicit information, the critical reader can properly evaluate the claim or claims made by an author. Claims state the point or position of an author regarding a certain topic. The claim statement is further proven by supporting details from various resources and reliable evidence. According to Chongson of 2016, there are characteristics of good claims. So the first one is a claim should be argumentative and debatable. It is expected for a written text to yield objections and opposite perspectives to appear for readers of a text that supports a certain stand on a topic. Completely factual texts are not considered debatable. Next, a claim should be specific and focused. With the statement of claim limiting the scope of the written text, it must be noted that claims must be focused on a single topic alone to arrive at an equal, concise, and specific result or conclusion. Next, a claim should be interesting and engaging. It should capture the interest of readers at the first glance and encourage a healthy discussion on the topic. Lastly, a claim should be logical. The evidence supporting the claim must be reasonable at its best. So, what are the types of claims? The first one is claim of fact. Claim of fact is defined as the pieces of information which are grounded on reliable authority such as science or history. Claims of fact relate to the statements that can be easily verified no matter how difficult. They are not dependent on a person's preference, but can be true or false. It also asserts that a condition has existed, is existing, or will exist and is based on facts or data. Facts that are universally accepted are not considered claim of fact, but instead a statement of fact because there is no more disagreement about their truthfulness. Claims of fact talk about what is or what is not. Claims of fact are often qualified by such terms as generally, probably, or as a result. And to verify whether these statements are claim of fact or not, we need to ask these questions. The first one is it debatable? The second one, is it verifiable? The third one, is it specific? And lastly, can it be solved objectively? So we have here also an example of claim of fact. So the first one is the oldest known disease in the world is leprosy. So this statement is debatable. It is specific also because it is already mentioned the leprosy, which is the oldest known disease in the world. It is also verifiable. It is because it is verified by one of the article. And it can be solved objectively. And we have here a lot more examples where you can find it or see it in your LMS. Let's proceed now to the second claim, which is the claim of policy. The claim of policy is defined as the argue that certain conditions should exist. Almost always should or ought to or must are included in this claim. The claim of policy calls for some form of action. It states what the reader should or ought to do about a particular situation or topic. The claim of policy advocates a specific course of action. It asserts that specific policies should be instituted as solution to problems. Claims of policy are specific statements on procedures or laws that need to be modified based on certain issues or conditions. So we have here an example for this one. To attract more non-traditional students, this college must review and revise its course offerings. The given statement above is an example of a claim of policy because it calls an action for the college referred to regarding its course offering to arrive at a workable conclusion, which is to attract more non-traditional students. The author may choose to elaborate on this course of action to prove that this claim can work for the college. So take a look for these examples also. The example number one is the mayor should suspend the classes today. You must send your children to public schools. The government should legalize medicinal marijuana. The Boy Scouts should not have to include Gay Scout leaders. Lastly, local malls should not open during the general community quarantine. The last claim is what we call the claim of value. Claim of value refers to statements that appeal to a person's taste and morals or the sense of what's good and what's bad. This type of claim weighs the values according to which is more desirable. Claims of value deals with topics concerning moral, philosophical, or aesthetic aspects. Claims of value involve judgments and evaluations. It judges whether something is good or bad, right or wrong, just or unjust, ethical or non-ethical, and others. We judge the worth of something. It attempts to prove that some things are more or less desirable than others. So this one of the example of this one is honesty is the best policy. Okay, so the famous saying honesty is the best policy is one good example of a claim of value. Because it proves the statement validity, the author may elaborate on examples that show how honesty holds advantage over other policies and how it has been proven to be effective. So we have here another examples. It is better to be feared than loved. Cheating is not good. Gay marriage is immoral. Buying a house is a lot better than building it. Rock music sucks. Lastly, the government is doing a great job during the COVID-19 pandemic. So check this out. For the claim of fact, this is an example under the claim of fact. Generally, Facebook received most visits than Twitter and Instagram. If we will be going to turn it or convert it into claim of value, this will be the result. Facebook is better than Twitter and Instagram. And if we will be going to convert it into claim of policy, Facebook must be doing well considering the number of visitors it has every day. So you consider the differences of the three depend on their structure.
So that will be the end of our lesson for today. The complete information of this lecture is available in LMS, Messenger, and Google platform. Remember to send me also your exit responses on our chat room following the given pattern. 3 things you learned today, 2 things you found interesting with this lecture, and 1 question you still have on your mind regarding with this lecture. Rate also your understanding for today's learning by sending one of the following emojis. Satisfied, happy, confused, boring, and sleepy. Good day and see you again in the next lecture.